This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Entertainment Hour here on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am the host, Dragon Viper, and right next to me is my co-host, Mr. Chris P. Bacon. How you doing, Chris?
I am doing good. Glad to be back. Should be a fun show today.
Yeah, it certainly will be. Well, and today's been a really busy day, so I hope everybody had a good day as well. Anyway, so we're gonna, like always, every week we're gonna start off with naming some shows that are also on this network. So, Chris, can you go ahead and?
So, Entertainment Hour tonight. Sunday we'll have Morning Tailgate, and then you'll have Between the Ropes this week. Monday you'll have C2C at night. Tuesday you'll have C2C Rankum, and then Wednesday Sports Minute. You also have C2C at night on Monday, and I think that's it. I might be missing some.
All right, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it gives a good idea of what we have on here. And what I was going to say, because of the fact that I haven't been able to be on Between the Ropes on Sundays, but I wanted to just put out there to you, Chris, that I saw WWE has merged with TNA. And my go ahead.
No, what you were gonna say? Sorry.
Oh, my question is since they had done that, you have stars from WWE over in TNA that are using different names. Like, for example, Dolph Ziggler, WWE, he's now Nick Namath. Are they gonna when they introduce him, when they finally get matches together? Because I know the NXT tag titles were going to be on the line in TNA.
Yeah.
My question that I've wanted to know after reading it is, are they going to keep the names the same? Like, instead of he's no longer known as Dolph Ziggler, but he's now known as Nick Namath. I mean,
it'll be like, and here comes Nick Namath. Because now he's part of TNA. He's a full member of TNA. Same, but like Mustafa Ali, who's now signed with TNA on a real contract, he's going to keep that name. So it just depends on I guess, if they can purchase that name or not.
Because I know when they go somewhere, they use a different name. They come back to WWE, they use the WWE name. So I just wasn't sure how they were really going to do it. But
like with NXT Fraxium, they got to keep the name.
No.
And they defended it on TNA.
Yeah, I was gonna say they like already defend the tag titles, NXT tag titles on TNA.
Yep.
All right, well that answered my question. And then we have Gene Carlson on here. Mom says, "Hi guys, hi mom, how's it going?" But anyway, so now that my question's answered, we'll go ahead and move on with Entertainment Hour. I'm gonna start off with the news. Now there was only, I mean, there were a couple things I could have actually read, but there's something going on with Billy Ray Cyrus. I didn't get to find that information because it wouldn't say. But I guess he's been drinking heavily, and he went to an inauguration ball for Donald Trump, and he got wasted and completely was not himself. I know he's got a new record that's about to come out with his son, one of his sons that he recorded with, and he's actually just not been himself. And so it's kind of a scary thing with him because, in the 90s, he was a really good singer. For those that listen to country back then, really good singer, and those that our younger generation knows him from like Hannah Montana. And then, and then I guess his son posted on an Instagram post that he was pleading for his dad to get well. So, I mean, I don't know if you know much about him besides the Hannah Montana era, because that is his daughter. But I mean, do you know Billy Ray and his song, music besides Achy Breaky Heart?
Okay, never mind. No, I don't. I know he was a country star. I know he was really big.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Hannah Montana and all that. But, I mean, no matter who you are, no matter what the spotlight is, that's a hard situation. And I know it's troubling in a lot of ways, and I hope he gets out of it. But I did hear, I don't know, maybe it's a year or two, maybe sooner. I can't remember, but I know him and Miley have been estranged, kind of.
Yep.
They've been not speaking to each other and all that. So I didn't quite know what was up with that. So
I know one thing is the fact that Billy Ray did not like the way his daughter was turning out. He didn't like the way that Miley was, becoming a free spirit and rebelling. And he, I think he, kind of said something about it, but he was not, happy about her lifestyle and the things that she has done. And I guess they haven't talked since 2022. So, yeah, Bill, I'm reading this here. It says
that's kind of, I think when I heard it, but
what was that? Chris, you there?
I said, I kind of remember that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I guess Billy Ray Cyrus's family pleads for him to get help after inauguration performance. So yeah, he did a really, really poor performance at the inauguration. And he and his family's really, really worried about him, which, any of his fans out there would be very worried about him too. Like I said, he's a good singer, and I guess he's not recognizable anymore as well. So I hope that he gets better, honestly. I mean, the last song that I remember him doing is Old Town Road. So, yeah, he, I'm looking at a picture. Actually, I'm looking at a picture of him when he was at the inauguration now. And
I remember that now. Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of looking like Rob Zombie a little bit, so not looking good. So, anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and move on, but I just wanted to throw that out there. And then there wasn't really any kind of news per se. I did write a couple things down though. I mean, we have Kanye West. They were blasting it all over the internet about how much he's worth, what his net worth is, and it's actually $2 billion. So, yeah, it's not as high as I thought it would be, but, and my question to you, Chris, is what would you do with if you were a $2 billion, a billionaire for $2 billion, what would you do with that kind of money? You there? Okay, yeah, I see that he froze. I think he's having some issues. Well, let me go ahead and see what yeah, you there? You're really delaying there, bud. Anyway, so yeah, what I would do if I had $2 billion, besides help my family and a few of my friends, some of my friends, just enjoy a kind of a healthy lifestyle, and I know my family would be set. Yeah, Chris is out because of technical difficulties, but it'll get figured out. Anyway, so yeah, $2 billion is a lot of money. I mean, maybe not so much like it was back in the 60s and 70s, but it's still quite a bit of money. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wait until Chris comes back with that, with getting his answer. But we're moving on to another news story. And it actually happens in Florida, and I just got word from Chris that his system crashed on him, so he's coming back in. He'll be in a minute. But anyway, so this story happened in Florida. Florida man was arrested for beating his girlfriend with a baseball bat. Then he tied her up and then set the bed on fire. He tied her up in the bed and set her on fire, all because he wanted control in the relationship. I mean, that's kind of like illegal. No. But anyway, the guy, it sounded, from what I read, it sounded like that the guy was a little out of it in his head. And the way it's looking, she had multiple skull fractures because of the baseball bat. So he's gonna be spending some time in jail, prison, and but yeah, it's crazy how people are out there, doing things that they do, similar to what I just read. And welcome back, Chris.
Finally.
So going back to what I had asked, what actually would you do with $2 billion if you were a $2 billion heir?
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't change much. I just kind of maybe sit on it, invest it maybe in stocks, and then I don't know, go from there probably.
Yeah, that's a good plan. And it's like I said, I'd help my family out, help my friends out. Make sure my family was as comfortable as possible, and not have to stress about money.
Right.
Did you end up having to hear the other news story that I just said before you came on?
I got the end of it. What happened?
So, a man in Florida was
Oh.
arrested because he beat his girlfriend in the head with a baseball bat, then decided to tie her up on the bed and set the bed on fire because all he wanted was control in the relationship.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like with Florida. Okay.
yeah, there's a lot of issues in Florida. I'm surprised my uncle lives there.
I know when we did Kicking It, we would always have stories from Florida. So I mean,
oh yeah, I remember that.
That sounds like Florida, yeah.
But yeah, so she's not going to make it through, very much longer. She's got multiple, skull fractures, obviously burned. But yeah, it didn't say the amount of time he's going to spend time in prison, but he is looking at, hefty charges. So, I mean, and all because he wanted to be in control in the relationship. I mean, how twisted and heartless you have to be to just for that, So anyway, that's the only news stories I could find. Not really any celebrity because, like I said, I believe it's the Emmys. They're on tonight or tomorrow or this week. I know they're on this weekend.
Daytime or prime time?
I have no idea. I didn't even see which one. I just saw that there was Emmys. And I can't remember exactly when. It's this weekend. I do know that, but
So prime times are in September. Let's see. You can continue. I'm looking it up.
Okay. But anyway, so yeah, I end up looking at a couple categories. Okay, this is how I'm gonna kind of age and date myself here because I looked at a couple categories and I don't recognize any of the actors anymore, the names, and I don't recognize any of like the costume, the people who do the costumes. I don't recognize any of their names. So it just shows that I'm more, towards the 90s shows, 90s and early 2000 shows than I am for movies and shows in, 2015 to 2025. So, yeah, I looked at a couple of those categories. I'm like, who's that? Wait, who's that? And it kept going. I'm like, okay, I give up. I'm not looking anymore. So, are you gonna be watching it by any chance?
I don't know. But I don't watch a lot of award shows. But on the 26th, you got the Critics' Choice Awards and the International Press Academy Golden Satellite Awards.
I thought I read like the Emmys or something. Must have been old news. I don't know. But according to what I read, it was supposed to be some kind of award show like the Emmys or something like that this weekend. But anyway, so I don't, I used to watch award shows, especially my mom would watch the CMAs, Country Music Awards, all the time, and watch that. I'd watch the Grammy Awards, but then all of a sudden I started getting older, and I started seeing that I'm not noticing, all these new celebrities that are getting nominated and stuff like that, and I'm just like, yeah. I'm gonna quit watching because I don't know any of them anymore. So, but yeah. Other than that, I mean, there wasn't really much more on news for celebrities or anything to talk about. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. Now, we're moving on to where are they now? And then this time we're talking about the Wonder Years. Now, the Wonder Years, I don't know if you've seen it. I can't remember half the stuff you've seen
a
anymore.
little bit, yeah. No, it's all good.
But I did watch it from the pilot all the way till the season finale, and it is a really good show. My favorite just happened to be, Fred Savage, who played, Kevin, because, him and his brother are really good actors. Ben Savage, who plays Corey Matthews on Boy Meets World. But I like Fred Savage, really good actor. And the show was just pretty much about life back in the 50s. I believe it was the 50s or the 60s. It was in that time era. Blue collar father, kids outside playing in the streets and everything else. So it was a great show. I really enjoyed watching it. And I did write a few people down here. Again, just like all the other shows I've done when we do this segment, a lot of them are still acting. So, I mean, we have Fred Savage, who did play Kevin Arnold. Like I said, continued acting. He was even an executive producer when they did a reboot back in, I think it was late 90s, early 2000s, something like that. And but they did a reboot, and he was the executive producer. Well, he actually ended up getting fired in May of 22 for allegations of inappropriate conduct, which to this day he has not addressed about. So supposedly he did something that he shouldn't have. It was inappropriate, and he got fired for it. I didn't even say if he's even acting still to this day, but he's probably jumped out of the spotlight after getting accused for that.
I would think so.
Yeah. And then Danica McKellar, who, was known as Winnie Cooper, Kevin's, girlfriend off and on. The only thing I have on her was the fact that she's still acting to this day, and she ended up going to college and got her degree in mathematics, getting a PhD for it. She did write a few math books. So I mean, she's brilliant. Obviously, I mean, you got a PhD in math. She's doing well for herself. Didn't really say much more of that. Then we have Dan Lauria, who played Jack, the father. The only thing I ended up seeing was he's still acting. Which, I'm surprised he's still alive, because I thought I saw something years ago that said that he had passed away, but I'm sure, he's still alive. So that's good to know, and still out there acting. And then we have Allie Mills, right, who's the mom as Norma Arnold. The only thing I have, she's also continuing acting. Now, I wasn't going to write much more than that because, again, they're continuing to act, not much news out there. But the two the last two I wrote down was Jason Hervey, who was the brother Wayne Arnold. I mean, he's still acting, but he in 01 to 03, he was vice president of media and communications for a company called Health South Corporation. And he was doing really well, but then come to find out the company that he worked for endured a fraud scandal. And because of the fact that he didn't know that was going on and he got fired for it, or laid off, or they closed, or shut down the job or whatever, he was trying to sue them for compensation of losing his job, and was unsuccessful in doing so. So, but he decided to go ahead and return to acting in 2021. Which, it sucks having to go work for some company, not knowing what's really going on behind the scenes, and then find out that they're in some sort of scandal, and then you lose your job because they close down or something like that, And then I have Josh Saviano, who was Kevin's best friend Paul Pfeiffer. The only thing I got from him was he got his degree in major sciences, and he's still acting. So again, every time we do the segment, it seems like even the older shows that, because I'm trying to find what people are doing other than acting, and so far all I'm seeing is people are still acting. So
that's good.
But, yeah, it is good. I mean, they got to provide for their family and stuff. So, but, and then, I mean, that's all I had for, where are they now? I think I might go a little older on shows next time. Maybe, there'll be more than just, they're still acting. So,
hopefully they're still alive and acting.
Well, yeah. Hopefully they're still alive. I don't think I'm gonna go to some show like The Love Boat or something where over half the people are passed away or something. So, but
right.
And then moving on, we're going to celebrity facts. Well, we just talked about the Wonder Years. I picked Fred Savage. Here's a few facts about him. Youngest person to ever be nominated for an Emmy as Best Leading Performer. So I think that's a big achievement, especially to this day. Yeah. He's still known as the youngest ever. And then it was also pretty cool watching Boy Meets World and seeing him on his brother's show. I know his brother's been on his movie or his show a couple different times. So it was nice to see, his Fred be on his brother's show of Boy Meets World. And that's when they were in college, and Fred Savage was the professor of the college, and, trying to hit on Ben Savage's girlfriend. So that was great to see. And then here's something I didn't know about Fred Savage. He actually ran for Congress in 2024, but only got 4% of the votes. So that, I mean,
wow.
You would think a celebrity would actually have more votes than just 4% because it's a celebrity. So, yeah, I mean, the only thing that probably made his votes fail more is the fact that he was accused and got in trouble of, inappropriate conduct. So that may have been his downfall.
Huh.
And And then the last thing I have about him is he graduated from Stanford in '99 with a degree in English. So after he got done, filming The Wonder Years, a little later down the road, he decided to go to college, which I think is a good stepping stone for any actor, whether they're still acting or not, because what if something happens and you end up not being able to act anymore, or you're like kind of blacklisted in Hollywood and you have nothing else to fall for. So I think going to college is a really good idea for them.
Right.
So I mean, what do you agree? I mean,
I do. I mean, it's not easy going into something else, and I'm not. He's probably glad he didn't win.
Yeah. I don't know if he'd be able to handle the pressure of being a congressman. But yeah, that's a few things about Fred Savage, especially the running for Congress. I had no idea. Normally in the news, you would hear of a celebrity running for something. I know when Joe Biden became president, I know people were trying to get Kanye West, and there were certain states that actually had Kanye West on the voter pamphlet because they wanted him to be president. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, with Fred Savage actually running for Congress, that's wow. But
that wouldn't be good.
Yeah. All right, and then we're gonna move on to yours and James's favorite, even though James isn't here tonight.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be here next week.
I'm sure he will be.
Anyway, your favorite celebrity birthdays.
Uh-huh.
So there wasn't much of a long list because of the fact that a lot of them were shows from like Europe and Japan, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not gonna fly. So nobody's really gonna know, an actor from China, especially in just Chinese movies and not American movies. So
I can name one. Oh no, never mind.
You can name one.
I thought, but not.
Oh. So first person we have is Matthew Lillard. He was Shaggy on Scooby-Doo. He was on She's All That. He was on Not Another Teen Movie. I don't know if you know who that is.
I do. I didn't know he was Shaggy though. But,
oh yeah, he was on Scream also.
Which one?
Yeah, the movie.
I know.
He was one of the killers in that movie.
Oh, okay. 50.
What'd you say? 50?
50. Yeah.
Actually, 55. He's 55 today.
I'll take it.
I didn't even know he was that old, honestly. I thought he was like high 40s, early 50s. I didn't think it was actually 55.
I heard when he was getting in the part to play Shaggy, he screamed a lot to get that voice to
sound straight like it does.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't know about that one.
Uh-huh.
Then we have Ed Helms, who played in The Hangover, The Office. He was the dad in the new Vacation movie, the National Lampoon's Vacation movie.
46.
Kind of close. 51.
Uh-huh.
Um,
I'm not too far off. Cool.
no. And then everybody knows this guy. If people don't know this guy, I don't know if you're under a rock or what. But Neil Diamond.
I heard of.
I mean, he's the one that sings "Country Road," "Take Me Home."
Okay.
There was one that is always played as well. I'm spacing.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, thank you. So you know who it is.
I'm gonna say 63.
Actually, he would really like you for that. He's actually 83.
Uh-huh.
My mom was closer at 80. But yeah, 83. I can't believe he's still alive, honestly, but I thought he was older than that. Sorry, Mom, but you know. Then we have Ray Stevens. He sang, songs like "The Streak," "Osama Your Mama," "The Mississippi Squirrel." Yeah, a lot of comedy, country music.
55.
He would like you too. Wow.
Dang, I was so promised.
My mom actually was closer. He's actually turned 85 today. He was 84 yesterday. He's 85 today. And then I don't think you know this guy, but I know my mom does. Aaron Neville. He's a kind of a blues country singer. Yeah, I'm
60.
No, he'd like you too. He's actually 83. So, I did have a couple people, huh?
Say my bad.
Well, like I said, he'd like you too.
True.
I did write a couple people down that were passed away because they are big name people. John Belushi,
Uh-huh.
born 1949 to 1982. He was in the Blues Brothers. He was in a couple other movies with Dan Aykroyd.
Uh-huh. I really don't know. 68. I really don't know.
You're actually close for not knowing. 76.
Uh-huh. I'm like, please don't be mad at me. Please don't be mad at me.
And then we have Sharon Tate, who was born 1943 to 1969. And if you know your history, you would know that Sharon Tate was one of the first ones that the Charles Manson family, killed.
66.
No, she would have liked you though. I think no, she would have been 82 today. But yeah, that was brutal with what happened to her. So she was pregnant, and then they came in to where her and her boyfriend were staying at with a few other people and killed them all. So yeah, that's sad. And then we have Tatiana Ali, who was Hillary, or not Hillary, but Ashley Banks on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, wow. I'd 70.
Oh,
I don't know.
Ashley, no. I'll give you a clue. It's under 50.
48.
Close. 46.
Okay.
Oh, and that's all of them for today. And then I wrote a few for tomorrow. We have singer Alicia Keys.
44.
You got it. You nailed it. She'll be 44
I'm
tomorrow.
like, go low. Go low. $1.
Yeah, you got that one. And then we have Christine Lakin, who was Al from Step by Step.
$55.
Ouch.
No. I
No.
don't know.
She's turning 46.
Okay.
And then we have The Undertaker's current wife, Michelle McCool.
She was on SmackDown tonight. She's going, hey.
Waving in the crowd.
Yeah. I don't know. 50. I don't know. We're gonna go 50. I really don't know. I'm like, keep it low. Keep it low.
Yeah, keep it low.
I'm gonna say 50.
She is actually 40. She's gonna be 45 tomorrow.
Okay, I'm on 5 off.
And what's funny is the fact that the Undertaker is 59. So I thought she was a little older than that, but I guess she isn't. But
it's the Undertaker that's older, not her.
Yeah. Undertaker will be 60 on his next birthday, which is in March. He'll be 60. So I mean, she's just turning 45 tomorrow. He'll be 60 in a couple months. Wow. And then finally, the last person that I got was the Honky Tonk Man.
Okay. The 70?
Right, you're close.
Okay.
72.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be 72.
I'm like, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, he really hasn't made any appearances, special guests, or anything. So, so that's all the birthdays I have. And then we're going on to our 10 or less. And the first category is 90s comedy movies.
Ooh.
And I'm going to have you start off.
Oh, man. I guess Happy Gilmore would be part of that one. More of a comedy, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
The Ace Ventura movies. I'm trying to think of 90s. I'm going off the top of my head.
I mean, I know Jim Carrey was a big comedy person in the 90s.
Yes.
Jim Carrey, let's see, why am I forgetting the guy's name? David Spade.
Spade. Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler was like 99 on. Because I mean, yeah, maybe it was sooner because he was in, Coneheads and that was in the 90s, and but I don't, in my thought, he didn't really get noticed until Waterboy in '99. So
that was a comedy. I mean,
what, Waterboy?
I don't know. Maybe it was. I can't remember.
But I mean, you had like Chris Farley, you had you know, like I said, Jim Carrey, Robin Williams, Jeff Daniels. But anyway, and you said that was pretty much it for you.
Yeah, I was going off the top of my head because I wanted to see what I could remember.
Yeah, no, I get it. And then of course mine would happen to be like Mrs. Doubtfire, Waterboy, Tommy Boy with Chris Farley and David Spade, Problem Child, Basketball, the Ace Ventura movies. I mean, you have Groundhog Day, Office Space, Something About Mary, Dennis the Menace. You know, got those kinds of movies.
Right.
So, and I mean, and those are pretty much all the ones I liked with, you know, that isn't 100, you know, titles long. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to movies The Rock has been in. You know, the top 10.
Yeah.
What was that?
I said, go ahead.
All right. So my list, pretty much, you know, I couldn't stand the you know, mummy movies, but you know, I had the Rundown, Walking Tall. I really liked him in Walking Tall and Gridiron Gang. I thought he was kind of funny in The Game Plan and The Tooth Fairy. I think though that and then of course, I mean, that was, and then San Andreas was a real serious movie of him, you know, with him in it. But other than that, I really haven't seen many more movies with him in it because and Fighting with My Family. But because of the fact that I think it was after The Tooth Fairy, I think he started getting too big of an ego, and this is why I have a problem with him most of the time in WWE now, is because I think he ended up getting a huge ego and started to really annoy me, so I didn't really watch much of the movies after that.
Not even Jumanji?
No, I kind of at first wanted to watch Jumanji, but then all of a sudden I'm like, you know, I can't. I really don't want to, because there was only one actor that was known for Jumanji that was really good, and that was Robin Williams. And they did a remake of Jumanji and Jumanji 2, and I can't. The Rock irritates me. I mean, I like Jack Black too. That's, you know, because I know he's in it, but yeah, The Rock kind of irritates me a little too much now, so I don't really watch much of his newer stuff.
my first, I guess, with integration with The Rock, or introduction of The Rock, as far as movies or just in general, was I think it was The Game Plan, where he was the next football quarterback, and that was probably the first one I saw of his. And then he did, the Fast and the Furiouses, and like you said, San Andreas, Tooth Fairy. He's done a lot, and then I think he got to start in the Mummy.
Yeah, the Mummy movies is where he really started.
Yeah.
I mean, The Mummy Returns, and he kind of made a guest cameo almost in it. And then that's where the Scorpion King hit, and he was one of the main characters alongside Brendan Fraser. So, so that's where it really, he really started. And then,
the Hollywood Rock kind of came out.
Yeah. Then Walking Tall, The Rundown. But yeah, he started becoming pompous shortly after that, and it irritated me. So, and I know, and I know it's a part, but still, I mean, come on, Rock's gotta stop at some point.
Well, I thought you were gonna say one of his catchphrases, but
know your role and shut your mouth.
Yeah.
I get it. And then, so that's our list for The Rock. I know for a fact we haven't done Kate Beckinsale because I didn't really realize how many movies I've actually seen of hers until I started looking up her stuff. And I mean, yeah. Go ahead and
I don't really have anything. I can't think of anything for her. Maybe I have seen some stuff, but
well, I mean, you have, I'll go off my list, okay? So we have Underworld. She was the main star in those, those movies, all those Underworld movies. She was in Click as the wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then she was in Pearl Harbor. She's the one that Ben Affleck fell for, and then when they thought Ben Affleck died, Matt Damon went. Or no, it wasn't Matt Damon. Was it Matt? No, it was Josh Hartnett. Yeah, Josh Hartnett went for her, and then they found out that Ben Affleck actually survived, and was alive after all. But yeah, she was the nurse in that movie that both Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett wanted to be with. And then and Pearl Harbor is one of the most fantastic movies I've ever seen because it pretty much depicts what happened in World War II. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And then of course, and then I have, I wrote down all the Underworld movies because I've seen pretty much all of them. But I mean, you have the newer 2012 version of Total Recall. So I mean, there's just a few that I wrote down of hers. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have of her. And then moving right along to our last topic of the top 10 or less, for our music choice, it was the Eagles. And I know we've done the Eagles before. I sat there before I decided to choose this, and I thought to myself, I could have sworn we did the Eagles, but
I feel like we have.
Yeah. But I was like, we're just going to go ahead and do it again because, well, why not? The Eagles are one of the greatest groups of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know I started my list, but first you go ahead this time if you have one.
Right. In no particular order, we got Hotel California, Take It Easy, Desperado, One of Those Nights, Already Gone, and Tequila Sunrise. That's my list.
Yeah, that's a really good list. I mean, and all those that you read, I really like. I mean, you also have with my list, Take It Easy, Take It to the Limit, Desperado, Peaceful Easy Feeling, Life in the Fast Lane, Heartache Tonight, Witchy Woman. There's a lot of songs that they did that I like. I honestly, I don't know who got me into the Eagles to begin with, but I'm glad they did because they're really good. And then also, Lion Eyes is another one. And then my absolute number one song of all that I really love from the Eagles, that is Hotel California. I have an electric guitar and I've been wanting to play that song so bad, but I gotta learn how to play guitar first in order to be able to play that song. But yeah, Hotel California is, in my opinion, the number one song from them, and I could listen to that song over and over and over again because I think the best part of that song is the guitar solo at the end. So I mean, absolutely fantastic song, absolutely fantastic guitar solo. I absolutely love that song. So and then looking at the comments, my mom said about The Rock, he still had hair on the Mummy movies. Yeah, that's before he did. He did. That's before he thought he was cool, or cool being bald over having hair. So, and then she said she loves the Eagles. Yeah, it's unfortunate that a couple of the members had passed away. Don Henley and I can't remember the other guy that passed away, but he was part of a strong part of the Eagles. So, but yeah, I really like the Eagles a lot. And that's pretty much my list. So. Yeah, I think it is. And then of course, if I didn't say Already Gone. So I actually have Spotify on my phone and I listen to it in my car. And one of the main groups that I have on there that I have a lot of their songs is the Eagles. So I remember actually being, I want to say, and I don't even think Mom would remember, but there was a music video that Travis Tritt did back in 95, 96, that was a remake of Take It Easy. And Travis Tritt actually did a video for it, and it had the Eagles in it. So, I'm sitting there as a little kid watching, this music video, wondering who was singing with Travis Tritt at the time, and then all of a sudden found out it was the Eagles. So I started listening to Eagles more, and I thought they were pretty good. So anyway, I'm gonna quit yapping here. We're almost at that hour mark now.
Right.
So since we are, is there anything else you want to add? Anything you want to say there, Chris?
Thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. It's been a good show. Crazy NFL off season for some teams and playoffs. We'll probably talk about it on Sunday, including the Cowboys who finally got a coach.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that and much more Sunday.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll talk to you quick about it backstage because I don't want it getting out there. But
it's probably out there. But
well, it could be. But I want you guys to have another thing to talk about.
Yeah. No.
But, no, and just so everybody on here knows, yeah, I don't think the Super Bowl is going to be any fun again this year because the Chiefs are probably going to be in it, but won't know until this weekend ends when the the Eagles face the Commanders, and the Buffalo Bills face the Chiefs. So
if Buffalo makes it out of their game, and whoever they face, either Washington or Philly, history is not on their side. We'll just say that.
I swear to God, if the Chiefs win a third straight year, I don't know. I'm going to be royally angry.
You're done with football.
I swear the refs are being paid by them. Anyways,
That's probably true.
The different show, but anyway, so yeah, just keep your eyes on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Save this or make sure you get your notification set, and to always, and just keep an eye on the shows. What we have some good shows on here. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I hope everybody has a good night and a good weekend, and we're out.